another Screenfish One-on-One. I'm so glad you could join us today as we are joined with Hanna Keil, the creator of the human body expression, which is featured in the upcoming film, But Then Again. Welcome, Hanna. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful that you could be here. Um, I was wondering, from your perspective, just to talk a little bit, what is the power of the arts to you? Why do you think that the dance is so important?
I think just I can speak from the dancer artist that like my own way of communicate with people that I don't know and I feel connected with them is always been storytelling, and I use the body language to do that, and then in a way that we always feel that like somehow we are connected to one another, but then it only happened from watching movies or reading news or even watching social media, and then there's some sort of things that we feel connected to each other, either terrible news or great news or something that what we are going through together or not. We always feel connected, and then I think dance is a really great way to connect it with other people because body language is the first language that we learned.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a great point.
Mhm.
And obviously, you've been involved in dance and choreography for some time. Just reading your bio, there was something I have to ask you about.
Yeah.
Did you choreograph with Yoko Ono?
It was a collaborating a work that she had at this exhibition called I have a brain burp that it's I can't remember the title right now. It's just in my head. It's been so long. It was about like the word piece. So she had this installation work, and I have to choreograph on top of that.
That's incredible. I was just wondering
Mm.
what is it like to collaborate with her?
Like I only got to meet her a couple of times, and
Hmm.
then she's a really busy woman. So it's like she showed up and then she disappeared. And then we were more working a lot with the curator, and just discuss about what she's looking for and also what this exhibition is all about. So I have a lot of freedom to do it.
Wow, that's amazing. That's wonderful. Um, but then again, but then again, um, speaking of but then again, it's a fascinating project. The film. I was wondering, the pandemic has thrown everything off. It has absolutely, completely. Broadway shut down, decimated the visual arts. I was wondering for you, in what ways, just your creative spirit. How did the pandemic and coming through that influence your creative spirit?
Um, like I was always one of those people that I'm very optimistic,
Hmm.
and I always try to like pivot with whatever happened. Even before pandemic, in arts, there's always something happen. Either you don't get the funding, or your dancer get injured like 3 days before your show. This thing happens, so I'm so used to like just to um, looking at everything as a task and then try to work through it. Like I really hate to cancel the thing and then what we're pursuing, but in this case, cancellation was really like new for me. I don't think I ever canceled the show in 30 years of my career. So this was a really tough decision, but then I knew that it's not something that I the only one going through that. So I look at it as like we're all going through that, and then just gotta work through this, and it makes me open my eyes to engage with the audience in different way, which is a film. And then that's something that I learned a lot about it through this pandemic, that how we can also share our dance performance not only through live performance but also through the film and videos.
Was that what sort of inspired the idea of bringing it to life on screen?
My work has always been very cinematic. And then again, like I've been telling myself that I'm a storyteller
Hmm.
rather than a choreographer. So I like to tell a story. So my idea always come in as almost like a film image. So this was a really easy transition for me to jumping right into that direction. Of course, like I really, like I can compare with like live performance and a film work, because live performance, there's just something about it that you can make it perfect. There's something beautiful about that. But film, that you can always edit it, so you can always make it look perfect. So that's something that I was having fun doing that.
Mm.
But again, like I'm a big fan of live performance, so that's something that I can wait to keep doing it. I mean, it's starting to happening. I already had a small show before, but like having audience in front of you, and then just feeling their energy in the room, is something that we've been missing for a really long time.
Yeah, that relationship between audience and performance has got to be. I mean, there's nothing quite like it. And so that's got to be a bit of a different idea when you're putting something on screen and you're saying, okay, I'm going to pass this off. I'm not going to see the person watching it necessarily, but they're going to engage it in their own way. It must be an interesting transition.
That's right. And then like my first live show was early June, and then we did it very intimate space, and then in a small church. And these are like my regular audience, so they've seen my work before, and then they also see my film works throughout the pandemic. And then when they came back to watch this show, and then they were saying that they forgot that how amazing to see dancer actually struggle on stage. You know what I mean? Like, they breathe really hard. You can see that things of what they do is just so hard to do. And then, you actually really watching them going through it, and they feel that all this energy and emotion. So, that's something that, I think you can still bring that on screen, but then it doesn't really feel human.
Mm.
That's what I love about dance live performance. It's like you're really watching human moving their body. So, it's amazing to experience that in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was thinking about your performers because I mean, we see them; they're masked. This is during the
Hmm.
and I was wondering what it was like to be working with your cast in the midst of this.
Hmm.
Was there were they struggling? Was the arts an opportunity for them to find some life? What was that relationship like? What was it like?
I mean, first we were really excited to be in the same space, because like, up to that point, like, we could have been in the same space. Like, it's like, what's the maximum number we can be in the room, all those kind of thing. And then also like, everyone was nervous. A lot of us has family with the kids, so it's like we were really um, not quite feel comfortable to doing that. But when the show got canceled second time, and then we say this is it, we're not going to postpone anymore. We're just going to have to make the film out of it. And then that's when everybody was actually feeling really brave to come together. And then but because we were still in the middle of Omicron, so it's like it was quite scary time. And also we have a larger number of casts for contemporary dance. And then if we had like a real show, we could have a like live band as well too. So um, we decided to wear masks. Of course, that was not something that, I mean, we could still take off the mask. I think there was a regulation, but then we made a decision to wear a mask, because that's what everybody felt safe. And then one of the performer always also was traveling internationally right after the project, so he felt very uncomfortable not wearing a mask. So we all agreed to wear the mask. When we came into room, um, I mean, the 2 years we're so used to do everything with the mask, so it wasn't like I can't dance with the mask, because like they already done that before
Mm.
with other projects. And but what different thing was, we haven't what dancer haven't done for 2 years was running the whole piece kind of experience with the mask.
Mm.
So which means it's like whatever that the length of phrase and dance is, let's say it's like 15-minute phrase, and we can rehearse a bits of it, maybe like 2 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this. But then like let's do full out for 15 minutes, and then that's what they haven't done it for 2 years. So it was incredible to see how um physically is almost impossible for human to be so intense with that physical body with wearing a mask. And then one of my dancer um um like had a really big issue breathing through mass. So, he had to leave the room like every few minutes. So it was really tough.
Yeah, that's got to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was just thinking too. Do you think that there's a relationship between dance, the arts in general, and hope? Like because there's something about that creative spirit that people are looking towards. It seems at this time.
Yes, and then like that's the one question I ask myself this last 2 years, and also recently as well too, because even with the live performance coming back, if I'm just speaking of dance, it's like I can see that like there's not many audience are excited enough to come out because we're so used to staying home in the evening, so coming out evening becomes so hard now. There's always a second thought. Before, oh, there's a show, let's go. Like, you call your friend, do you want to go together? Let's go for a drink first. And then, it's like there's always that the circulation, the routine that we were doing. But then 2 years after that, we saw everything online, and then we you know we couldn't go out in the evening. So it was like um, it's almost like became disconnected with audience, even though we're starting to having a live performance. So I feel like we have to rebuild that. And then I was really actually surprised to see that. I thought people would be so excited to come out, but then I can see that it's a slow steps. People still might be scared. People still might be like, maybe they think that, oh, not watching dance for 2 years wasn't too bad. So um, speaking of hope, I'm still hoping that like we don't even know the how long we're still living through this COVID.
Mm.
We don't even know how long we have to do this, but I'm still hoping. But at the same time, I'm very worried. Like I'm really concerned that like what's gonna happen to this live performance industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going
Hmm.
things are constantly changing, so I can see that would be. I mean, who knows what it will look like? You're absolutely right with the way
Yeah.
that we've consumed everything. Our even the way we work has completely shifted. Um, for sure. I mean, the live performance is going to be different.
Yeah, I mean, one great thing out of this COVID is we learn how to connect dance to other audience, like through online or the film and video. So, that's one thing that like, oh, I never thought about that. We could actually be even more creative um, to make it more accessible to people, not even in Canada or like the people in the other side of the world. So, um, that's something that like a lot of artists are now starting to thinking. They're thinking larger, they're thinking larger audience. So that is a something positive thing, and maybe that's something that is a time wise, like it's just the right timing for us to move forward that direction. And then I have no idea how live performance is going to evolve, because now there's a live stream as well too, and then
Yeah,
now people do both. So like I have no idea like how this is going to evolve. I feel like we're living right in the middle of big, like some sort of revolution. And I don't know if it's like a good direction or a bad direction, only time will tell. But right now, like all I can think of is, as a creator and an artist, I just gotta keep presenting in any way possibly, and in any way connected to audience.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, Hannah, just as we start to wrap up, I'm just wondering what what you hope people take away from. But then again,
um One of the reason why I decide to do documentary film is we feel like we need to document this moment,
hmm,
that what we are going through. It's just like a war, right? We hear about this war in the past, but then like you don't know that until you actually see the documentary, like photos and then films, and then you really see it, what's really happening, what people gone through. So um, I think people, it's not really about people at right this moment, because we're all going through that together. But I'm just hoping to, you know, have this to be in the future, whatever happened in the future in the live performance industry, that people can see it, that what we actually did it, and then how we navigate this, how we pivot this, how we actually didn't give up, and then this is what we wanted to leave behind. So that's the whole point that I was actually doing a documentary film. And then I'm hoping for future audience and the future artists to to be inspired by this.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
Mm.
And you're right. This is a moment in time that we need to document. So I
Mhm.
really do appreciate it. I appreciate the chance to chat with you. The film will be available. It's part of DanceWorks' Moving Online series. Is that
Mm.
right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
That's great. Well, I
Mhm.
appreciate so much the chance to chat with you. Thank you for the time, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Hannah. Have a great day.
Okay, okay, bye.
Bye.